My name is Malik Gray. I represent Graystar Unlimited Management. We are a management company that caters to asset management field, as well as we do home improvement and landscaping. So, the unlimited is for a reason because there's so many umbrellas. It's one big umbrella, but there's so many facets under it that we try to handle. But mainly, as of now, when Invest Newark, we've been doing a lot of the asset management, as well as our landscaping and home improvement.
So tell me, what inspired you to start your own business?
Well, believe it or not, I probably had one job in my life. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, mainly within the city, big cities where I've cut my teeth for the most part. And for the most part, I've been successful. I had a lot of different businesses. My main success was in the barber beauty industry, over 20 years experience. 15 years of that, I had my own salon. So within that, I worked hard days and nights serving the community, serving poor families, giving them affordable rates for their hair services. And we pretty much handled families, from the grandmother to the grandchild. Typically some families on Saturdays, the family go out for hair day, the wife goes somewhere, the husband goes somewhere, and the kids may want to go to their favorite shop. So we had an in-house setup where we served the whole family, and we did a good job of it. A lot of people felt assured that, the name of the shop was 911 Cuts, so they felt assured that if I go to Malik's shop, I know I can leave my kids, come back. There's not going to be any drug selling outside. There's not going to be any hustling or any, it's going to be a peaceful environment. So that's where, my focus was as a businessman. And Invest Newark allowed me that same opportunity to channel a lot of that same energies by working with guys, giving them the same opportunities that I did, open my doors to like guys who came in, were looking for employment. I extended that same kind of welcome arms, give guys opportunity to really get on a working basis, you know what I mean?
How many employees do you have now?
6.
Wow.
Yeah, from 6, sometimes it could be, depending on the project, it could be from 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm. Great. So tell me about your love for Newark.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. And what's mostly, I love being a part of this project here. I stayed in the city when I had my shop, and I wanted to be an example for young kids. When I opened my gates up in the morning, I would greet the kids on their way to school. I would give out pencils, encourage them, have different other programs, on certain days, to get good grades, to get a cheaper haircut. So this city is something that I try to be a part of as much as possible and try to be one of those, dwindling lights that's still shining and try to be a positive example that there's still hope in this city. And for the most part, it's coming back.
That's beautiful. Tell me what advice you have for future entrepreneurs, people that are trying to start their own way out here.
Well, my advice is find out where you want to go, find out what you do, follow your talents, follow your ambitions, find out where the money is going as well. I tell people, the young guys that I'm working with, nature provides. When I was in the barber industry, people need haircuts, the hair grow. Now, landscaping, grass grows, leaves fall, snow need to be removed. So nature provides. At the same time, you want to be technologically compatible with what's going on in the future, what's going on in the job industries. So I tell people to work hard, and there's going to be a lot of brick walls. I had to overcome so many obstacles, lack of support, lack of funding. It's being distracted because unfortunately, not a lot of people have your vision, and you won't get a lot of support in that regard. So what I do and what I did to get support, I listened to YouTube or I read about successful entrepreneurs, and I kind of surrounded myself. They say you are the sum of your best 5 friends. I didn't have 5 successful friends. So I had to create them and kind of make those people, whether they were alive or dead, I read upon them. I listened to videos or audiobooks, and I try to surround myself constantly with that audio. So put me in that constant state of mind, because there are a lot of negative energies within the city, within people in your immediate surroundings. and they may not push you and get you the push that you need.
That's great advice. I should probably take it myself. You talked to me about the community and how everyone knows you and you're really engaged with them. Talk to me more about that. How has that helped you in your work?
Well, my name is Malik. People call me Brother Malik or the Good Brother. And, you know, the Good Brother attribute is nothing that I chose myself. It's a quality that I think people recognize and, you know, just kind of went on. So most of people, at least everyone that I can think of, will have something positive to say about me. If they see me doing something, they say I'm not surprised. So they see me out in the street pushing these guys, they say, well, you know, that's something that we expect from Brother Malik. You know, he always had that energy. And I try to increase it every day. You know, could be a challenge. You need to get, you know, when you push out, you need to get re-energized, as it would say. So for years, I think that I have been like a heart pushing blood through carotid arteries, and a lot of times, you know, you get pushback on that. So you keep pushing until you break through, and that's my philosophy.
You had mentioned it a little bit, but talk to me more about your relationship with Invest Newark and the Newark Land Bank and how we've helped you.
Well, Invest Newark has allowed me to extend, again, what I've been doing for years. It allowed me to give young guys opportunities, but not only young guys, but older guys as well, because I have gentlemen that work with me who's older than me. A lot of them, we work in other businesses, but nevertheless, they still need opportunities. So the Newark Land Bank has given me the opportunity to employ people. So it's a dynamic system. I think the land bank, which we take resources from the community, right? We take these resources, which is the houses that are blighted, that are left for abandonment, and you hire contractors like me. I in turn can give guys jobs, and we get the projects contractor ready. We clean them out, we board them up, and we take them to the next phase, which is going to be most likely another minority contractor, right? Which is also giving back to the community. And ultimately, the biggest person who wins is the homeowners who will inherit a property or will get a property that has built-in equity that will pretty much change the trajectory of their life or their next generation lives, you know what I mean, with the equity that's in a property. So these are the things with generational wealth. When the CEO, Marcus Randolph, when he spoke on a webinar, he said about Invest Newark has put, I believe, $80 million back into the community. I felt that. My guys felt that. And every day, people call me, you know, are we working today? You know, what are we going to do? And also, you know, the word is spread that I hire. So people call me, hey, are you hiring? I heard you hiring. My cousin worked for you. You know, can you give me some help? You know, so I can see the effects of that $80 million going directly back into the local economy. And it's been very beneficial.
How is it better working with us over?
Well, working with Newark Land Bank, you know, traditionally, I started my business, the management company, 2014. This was at the height of the foreclosure epidemic that was going on in the country. So at this point, they were like houses everywhere. They needed management. So I slowly walked my way into that, and I kind of retired from the beauty industry to the dismay of a lot of other my clients. But working with these other entities, a lot of them were out of state, and a lot of them did a lot of shiesty business, and they really screwed a lot of contractors around for hard work, for a lot of debris removal. So when I first began, I think a lot of other contractors too, we would send a lot of pictures, and that was from habits of working with these other entities, because we had to document everything, and if we missed one shot, the companies, which were pretty much middlemen, you know, my stage, we were like the last tier. Like Bank of America will hire a national company to hand up all of their assets. This company will hire another regional manager, and then that regional manager will hire people from like the city or the county of Essex, which would be somebody like me. So the money trail is breaking down. So in between these tiers, these other entities would try to not pay you. I mean, they would submit our work, get paid, but they would say that, hey, you didn't meet these guidelines, you didn't take this picture, you didn't measure the grass, you didn't measure the snow, or you missed these photos. We see that the debris is gone, but we didn't see where you put it. So in turn, they will hold up payment, and they will, and they will really give you a hard time getting paid. So Invest Newark is totally different. I mean, if you do the work, they come and inspect, and they pay the contractors for the most part. They're very flexible, very tangible, very hands-on, and very assisting in the process, all phases of work that's needed, and developing scopes of work down the line, that projects or jobs that may be a potential problem in a few weeks, so we can kind of narrow that down and go through the approval process before the problem happens. So I think Invest Newark is very good in that regard.
What's your vision of Newark, the city of Newark, in the next 5 to 10 years, if we keep doing what we're doing?
I see Newark transforming, and I think you guys are playing an integral part in that, because like I said, ultimately you're applying, you're taking advantage of the resources, and it's a dynamic ecosystem. I'm glad to be a part of it, because you're taking what's there, giving back, and you're spreading these seeds about to so many people that's benefit. And I think the city will continue to grow. I think home ownership with a lot of financially challenged families will increase. And I think that in turn will change the community, because part of the problem with our communities is that there were a lot of landlords who didn't necessarily live there. 70s and 80s, you had the landlords who lived on a block. And those neighbors, I mean, when we were young, we used to call them nosy landlords or nosy neighbors. But it wasn't until we became older and mature that we're gonna realize the presence of those neighbors. They kept the neighborhood intact, and they moved out. So once you increase that, once you bring home ownership with people who own their homes, that will bring a difference in the community, right? Mm-hmm. The community is made up of two words: common unity. So when you have a community and people have the same common unity and stake, which is taking care of the neighborhood, then we see a better, thriving community.
Agreed.